Hey guys, how's it going? McWilliams Performance Academy here. I'm with my coach, Coach Davino. He has a lot of experience at the pro level, coaching pro guys too. We're out here also in the Blue Sox Academy in Utica, New York. So follow this channel. And Coach, what do you have for us today?
All right, guys, we're going to talk about our pitchers and catchers relationship. I'm going to ask Ryan some questions as he's a pitcher, college pitcher, and talk about what he likes and how he has a relationship with his catchers.
Yeah, so one of the things that I like to do is talk to my catcher before the game, explain to him, hey, this is how my pitch moves. These are the pitches that I have the most control in as of right now from the bullpen prior in the midweek. And then from there, as we throw the bullpen together, we really get on cue as to how the pitches are moving, what's working, what's not working. And then also too, then from there, when it comes to the in-game situation, it's important that when we build that relationship that we already know what we're calling before I step on the rubber and before I look at the signs. So for me, I would throw a pitch, whether the result was a strike or a ball, I'll walk back to the mound already thinking in my head, hey, this is the pitch that I want to throw. And then when my catcher calls it, then from there, that's where the confidence starts to play into a pitcher, because he knows that my catcher is on time. He's thinking about what I want, and then from there you have that catcher-pitcher relationship bond, and then again from there your results, in my opinion, and from what I've experienced and what he's learned at the pro level, that's how you start building the success as a catcher-pitcher.
Ryan, how important is it for your catcher to know how your pitches are, and how important is that bullpen session with your catcher to be able to see how your ball breaks and where it moves, so in the game it's not just a surprise?
Right. I mean, again, like as I said, I think it's important that a catcher understands, hey, this is how my pitches move. Like for me, I have a little cut to my four seam. So again, depending on how we want to attack a hitter and look at the tendencies of the hitters with our scouting report that we have, and especially at the pro level, you guys got a lot of scouting reports. It's important, like, hey, this is how my pitch moves, and this guy has a really long swing or a really loopy swing or an inside-out swing where a fastball inside that has a little bit of movement that cuts in. It could be, it could be useful and it could be effective. So again, like during that bullpen, it's important that you show all of your pitches to the catcher so he has an understanding, hey, this is how his pitch moves, this is how his 2C moves, and also the starting point too. So for me, my biggest thing is that I need to figure out where I want to start my pitch at, because I have a lot of movement on my pitch. So for my catcher in the bullpen, it's important to be like, hey, like this is where I want to start my fastball and my four seam because it has this much movement to it. And so from there, your catcher, when it comes to the in-game, he can start setting up at a good starting point to receive a pitch correctly, so the umpire will be more willing to expand the zone and get that strike called.
Ryan, when a catcher and a pitcher have a bond together, it's very important because now the catcher understands what you want to throw and how you want to throw it, and how you feel on the mound. If you're rushing too much, he might come out there. He knows, kind of like Yadi Molina. I mean, the relationship between him and Adam Wainwright is amazing.
Right.
And he knows what he's thinking and what he wants to do on the mound. How important is that for you at the college level?
I mean, again, I think it's important because not only when you're in the bullpen session and you understand how his pitch moves, through that relationship and through the bullpen and through the preparation that you did from the week building up to the start, if something seems off, that's when the catcher can call time. Give myself a break, or even any other pitchers, like give them a break and like have them understand, like, hey, this is what we worked on in this bullpen. This is how we're going to attack this hitter. And again, I think when it comes to building that relationship, your confidence is going to be there because you trust the guy behind the plate. A lot of things that I see now is that there isn't a good relationship between the catcher-pitcher, even outside the baseball field. There's not a good relationship. So my priority as a baseball player and as a collegiate pitcher is, even outside the baseball field, how can I add value to him and improve his catching game, and how can he add value to my pitching game based on this is what he sees mechanically. If I'm pulling my glove too much, this is why my ball's dropping too much. So little things like that. And I like to create conversation outside the baseball field about baseball, especially with my catcher. And so then when it comes to the in-game and something's not working like it was in the bullpen, and this is what he sees, again, then that's where the preparation came into play. That's where the confidence comes into play. And then that's where you can slow the game down when your catcher and your pitcher, you guys are in the same sync, and you guys, again, are confident in each other. Where me, I'm confident in his receiving, I'm confident in his calling, and then he's confident of in how my pitches move and how to attack a certain hitter.
Ryan, how important is your catcher's body language for you to be on the mound and be able to have that confidence and that ability to throw strikes?
Yeah, so for me, like, I have a tendency sometimes of letting go of my slider too early, where I'm kind of guiding it. So for me, the body language of a catcher is huge. So like when they call a slider, I like a fist bump, like, hey, like remind myself to throw it like a fastball. And again, like if you miss a spot, like, I've had catchers in the past, I miss a spot, they're shrugging their shoulders, and then when I see that feedback, it relays the information saying they don't trust me. And then that from there are things that fall apart. But again, that's why it's important that when you have that catcher-pitcher relationship, not only are you building the confidence within your catcher, but you're building confidence with yourself. So again, a catcher's body language is huge and crucial for the success, not only for himself, to get the calls and the receive calls, because I've been an umpire too, and we had experience with umpires in the past where they are more tended to get the calls for us based on a catcher's body language, so how he reacts to a certain pitch, and especially me too as a pitcher. Our pitcher body language matters a lot too, right? So again, I think when a catcher is confident in you and he's shown good positive body language, I think that's something to take into consideration for not only the success that he has behind the plate and getting the calls and getting maybe a few inches off the plate more, but then also too for a pitcher.
Also, Ryan, it happens a little bit in the high school level, more college and pro level. How does it make you feel when you get off the mound and your catcher at the end of the inning and your catcher's there waiting for you and walking back to the dugout and communicating with you? I mean, how important is that for you as a pitcher?
I mean, again, like from that preparation from that bullpen, like if the outing was shaky or it didn't go as what we thought by, we still got out of the inning, boom, there's feedback right away from the catcher. And if we had a really good outing, boom, there is my catcher. He's right there saying, hey, like, let's go, like, awesome job. Like, this is what we worked at all week, right? So again, like, I think the broad scheme of things, it's always about how are you and your catcher, how is your relationship? So again, like, even if you have a terrible outing, right, your catcher should still be there for you and be willing to get back to work with you that following, because he knows your abilities, he knows your skill level, he knows how your pitches move, and then from there, that's where, even if you have a bad outing, that's where you can keep adding the value, adding the consistency, and then keep prepping for the next outing.
My last question for you, at the college level, and you played at D1, you were at D2. How important is that pre-game meeting with your catcher? How to prepare for that game and how you're gonna attack those hitters? Yeah,
so again, like after that bullpen during the midweek, that's why, in my opinion, outside the baseball field, it's still important to build that relationship, because even after that bullpen, we get together with the team and then we talk about, hey, what are these hitters on the other team like? What are their tendencies? Watch film, and then from there, it's just we talk about, before the game, it's about, hey, this is how we're going to attack this hitter based on what we saw movement-wise from your pitches in the bullpen and also from that scouting report. So again, it's very important to not only, again, prep for the midweek for that outing and the weekend or whenever you're pitching, but also too, like before the game, just go over what we talked about in the bullpen and the scouting report, again, to build that confidence and to have this and to be on the same page of, hey, this is what we're going to call against this guy. So there's no confusion on the mound. You're not standing on the mound shaking off too many times where it's you throw a pitch, boom, in your head, you already know what you're throwing, catcher calls a sign, and then from there, it's game over, right? You guys got a good relationship going. You guys are getting the calls. You're seeing success. Ball's moving a lot. The catcher's receiving it real well, and then from there, that's just really how you start building that catcher-pitcher relationship.
I think it's very important in the catcher's standpoint that it's not about just going out there and catching and playing the game. There's a lot of things that go behind that, between innings, before game, after game. That communication with your coaching staff and your pitchers is very important, and that preparation for that game and even after that game going into the next game is important with your pitchers to be successful. And right. It's not just catching the ball and blocking and throwing, but you're there to help the pitcher and guidance and prepare for those games with your pitcher.
Yep. All right, guys. Thank you for watching. And like I said, subscribe on the YouTube channel down below. And then if you guys are ever in the New York area, come to the Utica Blue Sox Academy for some training. And again, we'll be here. And so I hope you guys enjoy. Thank you.